What's up, people of Earth?
Ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, wait.
Something's crackling.
Yep.
I don't know if that was us or that one. Folks, welcome back. Episode 88 of the Producer Lounge. Brought to you by OS 400. Wow. That was a good one. Sorry about that, folks. This is, of course, the Producer Lounge, as you know. For new viewers, this is the Producer Lounge.
Is it better?
Yeah, big sheesh. We're
This is
talking
a
about music
professional
production.
show.
We're just
Big
gonna,
sheesh.
It's yeah. We're gonna sit here and chat about music production, and today we have our very special guest, iamMTN.
What's up? What's up? Is this number 3? I think episode number 3 I've been on.
Or
Maybe four.
Maybe 4.
I could, yeah. Something like that.
Yeah.
Good to be back, boys.
And maybe even a secret.
Oh.
Maybe even a secret episode
Yeah.
somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Because I feel like you've done 3 just at this setup.
Oh
two.
yeah. No, two here,
Two.
and then one
This is the
or
third
2
here.
on the couch.
Yeah,
before.
okay. Yeah.
This is
We got some rounds with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh, yeah.
excited to be back.
Oh, the couch.
2023.
Yeah,
2023.
2023. Here we go. New year, new me.
Yep.
Right? You know what they say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody have production goals for the year?
Ooh.
I like this.
Yeah, we did.
Travis pops in with the fucking questions.
Yeah.
Right. We did actually talk about our
I'm
New
curious,
Year's
I'm curious.
resolutions as producers on the last podcast
Goals.
because that was right before the New Year.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
God, what was mine?
Anything music related goals, I guess. Right.
Yeah.
I generally want to be more regimented with my schedule, and I want to make a shit ton of whips.
Oh, just send them
A
out.
lot.
Yeah.
I want to make a lot of music.
Nice.
Bet.
Starting to play gigs, so I kind of want to just make ammo
Yeah.
for gigs,
Yeah.
Right,
and not
right.
really worry about whether it's like a completed track or not. Just like make just more and more shit that we can go and
It's not a bad idea.
hammer people with.
But-
Like
to
having a
ammo.
bunch of like half arrangements, but then they're like quick edits, and you can just DJ them
Right.
together as long as they're like reasonably started and finished.
Yeah.
That's
You
the
know, like-
point. Yeah.
Yeah,
2.5
we've been
minutes.
making like
yeah.
2.5 minutes, 3 minutes sometimes,
Yeah.
just with like a long ass drop.
And it's usually like the meat, what you're gonna be playing. Oh,
Hey.
shit.
Oh.
Thanks for the fucking sub.
Hell
bruh.
yeah.
You can
That's
sub
what's
on
up.
YouTube?
Yeah,
Oh no, that's just the main. You subscribe. I'm
Yeah.
used to Twitch.
Original content
No,
is
that
gold,
doesn't,
baby.
it
Let's
doesn't
go.
cost them any money to subscribe on YouTube.
Nice.
No. What were we just talking about? Oh yeah.
Intentions.
The meat of these tracks
Yeah.
is, the part where it's only playing alone. There's no mixing in or out. It's maybe a minute and 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Like it's
On
not
the next.
a lot. Yeah, and then after that minute and a half, you're in
You're
between,
bringing the next
you're bringing
thing
the next
in.
one in.
Yeah.
And then you just
So that's the thing. Like I finish a whole bunch of songs, and then they're like full 5 or 6 minute tracks, and then I'm like, now I have to cut all of these in half and like only use like the because when I go to like play a set, like
Yeah,
I don't
You're not
like,
gonna
I
play
make
the
edits
whole
of all
thing.
everybody else's songs, and then all of a sudden, now we're just gonna listen to the entire track if it's mine. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
so then
yeah.
It's like-
Well, you get to do that.
you can
Yeah.
if you want.
yeah,
But I
You-
get it.
You can do that.
it's a little boring.
Yeah. Yeah, but like it is your prerogative, it's your shit.
I just want to
Might as
stand
well
there for
play
like
it all
5
the way
minutes.
out.
Yeah.
Every
Standard
once in a
dancing.
while, but yeah, no, I hear you for sure.
Yeah.
That's why we're just like,
Yep, just
Make
make a
the
bunch
meat-
of these.
you can make more of the meat happen in that time. Like you make edits. What do you do if you're making edits?
I
on
mean,
other people's tunes?
most of the time it's either shortening breakdowns or say like a track has 2 identical drops. Like a lot of times in house music and whatnot, I'll just make it where it's like intro to like right to the second break or something. So then only half the track plays and you're headed to the outro. Or like sometimes like the first half's great, right? So I'll go all the way right till like the end of the first drop and then just cut right to the outro. You just remove the second half of the song.
Yeah,
and
that's a
then that
great
way
idea.
then you just have a nice quick edit and you can
Right.
just keep going. And like most of the time that's the easiest way to do it because you don't need to hear the whole second thing like a second time.
Yeah.
most of the time. So
The other option is
Right.
like cue points, and then like you.
yeah, you can do that live.
in
Like
time.
I did that for a while, and
but
it's just
edits is fun.
yeah.
As a producer, you have that tool. You can just be
Exactly.
like,
It is the benefit of being a producer in that world is you can just like,
Rip things
oh,
apart.
I will make this easy as fuck for me, so that I can do other things in that moment.
There's other times too where like I'll straighten out like phrasing if somebody like decides to do something fucking weird. You know, like I'll just like not use the
Right.
last like 16 bars and instead just like duplicate it out.
Oh,
like,
right.
You know,
S-
as if I was
slip in
as if I was like
another-
looping the CDJ
Right.
or something, but
right.
it's just I'm duplicating a clip or something.
Yeah.
hilarious.
You're like, too
Oh.
much.
This is dumb.
We're gonna
like,
go.
people
we're gonna
like-
It's
make this
unnecessary.
disappear.
They'll do like a
Get rid of
weird like
this.
12 bar like section like in the middle of the outro, and you're
Right,
like, what
right.
the hell are you doing? Like,
yeah.
Here, I'll fix this for you.
yeah.
Don't worry.
No.
Post edit.
Dude, that's a 2023 trend thing. Is 12-bar sections now. So
No
it's
way.
the new cool
12
thing.
bar.
No,
No, we're not doing that.
I'm not getting behind that.
No, we can burn it to the
12-bar
ground.
loops.
I can do triplets. All right, that's as close
Yeah.
as I'm gonna get to
Right.
thinking like that.
Yeah. One of the things I want to focus on in 2023, and I think partially is because of you two, which is good, which is a really good thing. But I want to start focusing more on like I have this like kind of like style of music that I feel like I'm pushing towards. That's like the main thing that's calling towards me. But I have a tendency to be like, oh, I want to make like bass house today, or I want to make lo-fi, or I want to do like anything but this main thing and like have fun and do random shit, you know? And I've been thinking about it, and it's like I've been making music for like 6 years now. Like I had 6 years to just dick around and like explore styles and fuck around and just like fuck around, find out kind of thing, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I think 2023 is the year of like more intention.
Laying down
Yeah.
the law.
Let's go.
Laying
Yeah.
down the law.
There you go.
Let's fucking go.
Yeah, I think it's time, and it feels good. Like it doesn't feel like a pressure on me to be like, okay, get really good at this one thing now. It feels like, oh,
No, it's just like now it's time to like pick a knife and sharpen it.
Yes,
can
You
go-
made a
exactly.
bunch.
Yeah.
You can
Now
go
pick
pick a
one.
new one
yeah,
Yeah.
Later.
Yeah, you can go pick a new
Yeah.
one whenever you want.
or refine and adjust and
Yeah.
fucking get really good. Just
Nothing stopping me from making
in
drum
that
and
zone.
bass,
yeah,
other than that I just want to make house music right now for a certain purpose.
yeah,
Right.
But at any moment, I'll just like make halftime track or fucking do whatever the fuck I want.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
And it's not like through the year, yeah. Like
But
you guys,
in reality,
you
I'm
guys
trying
will
to
put out
grind.
the random halftime and the
Right,
random other
right.
thing, like
But I'm
a
trying
few
to
times
grind.
a year. Like it's not like it has to. It's not like a strict rule.
We're on a
No.
strict grind, everybody.
It's funny because
a few times a year do we break off.
yeah,
I
true,
have to work with other people to write different shit. Like
Right.
I find myself always like leaning towards this very specific kind of like, the heavier sided trance, or it's somewhere between like
It's like
Techno.
melodic techno.
it's like somewhere between techno and future rave and like fatum, like heavy ass
Fatum.
fucking trance that I've like arrived. Like
Fatum.
that's where I've kind of like, okay, that's the stuff that I want to like make when I'm sitting there in the studio by
yeah.
myself.
I mean,
And
nice. Yeah.
I have to get other people in the studio to break me out of that habit, because otherwise I just always end up back in that same hole somehow. So
Yeah.
that's why I work with like my buddy Marshall and Noah, because like Marshall brings me down into like the melodic techno and deep house stuff, because that's what he loves making. And then Noah, for a long time we were making the trance stuff too, but now we're getting into like bass house and a lot of fun
Let's
shit.
go.
So,
Let's go.
yeah.
That's what I like to hear.
I wanna hear
The-
some.
exciting new projects with both of them in the works.
Yeah, let's go.
That's where I've been for the last like 8 months, because I haven't even really been on social media or anything, and it's been because I've been writing a lot of fucking music with those two, and
Pretty exciting.
yeah. My goal for the year is to actually do something with all of that, and by
Yeah.
the end of the year, and like I want to have like intentionally, like I want to have like one really solid like music video shot or something for like one of them, like one of those projects.
That'd be
Fuck yeah.
sick.
Just like have a completed thing of like audio and visual.
Right.
and then
Yeah,
I want to be able to have that to then take to a label and be like, look, like I'm already like taking that extra effort to show up with a video that I can help, give to you guys to put on your channel or whatever, and it'll give me extra like, oh, okay, this dude's like showing up even more prepared than the average person we're signing. And I feel like to break in with like a new, you know, bigger entity or something, like that's what you're gonna have to do these days.
Yeah, you
Can't
kind of
just-
have to have a package
Dude,
ready to roll.
Yeah, like then it gives you like the potential for already having like stage content, right? Because whatever the music video is, you can somehow turn it into a visual for whenever the song's
Oh
playing.
yeah.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
so you're building both at the exact same time by
Right.
like building the visual component for each song for the release, but then also now you have some shit to play during your sets. So
Right.
yeah, that's definitely my
Plus,
goal.
then
'cause-
you have the fun GIF for Spotify.
yeah. Oh yeah. Right. You get to make the little like fancy
yeah,
thing.
right,
Yeah.
Little
right.
thing that's really annoying. Like, why is it?
I just
there a
feel it's like
video
I've
behind this?
I've been doing the make a single, release a single, make an EP, release an EP, like with labels. Like I've been doing that for so many years now already, and like it's cool. Like I've gotten some big releases, but I feel like I've plateaued.
Yeah.
And to go to the next
Oh.
level, right? It's like I need to now have like that visual component and
Yeah.
like it
Oh.
becoming like an actual like artist, right? Not just a dude who makes like cool tracks.
Sure. I can understand having the full package.
Yeah.
It's gonna be good bait for
It's hard.
a label. But yeah,
It's
yeah,
fucking hard.
That's why
Like,
no one.
No idea what I'm gonna do yet, but
That's why not a lot of people do it.
yeah,
Expensive
that too.
if you don't be careful.
That too. Well, hopefully,
But,
if I get a new
you
phone
know.
soon, I'm just gonna use that camera and gotta start somewhere.
Oh, we have
Yeah,
cameras.
that's right.
Well, all right. Well, there you go.
I do.
For
have
some
a-
reason, for your music
John has
video,
one of these, too.
I was
Okay.
imagining like a hip hop fisheye lens, and you're just like in front of the camera,
Beastie
like,
Boy style.
yeah,
walking down.
like
a
not the vibe at
Suburban.
all, but that's where my head went when you're like music video, dude.
That would be beautiful.
So funny.
What it does come down to is kind of knowing people. Like
That's true.
Yeah.
You're like building up into this moment, and we've been building, you know. So you want to make a music video, we could help you. Also, there's
Dude, I'm so
probably
down.
other
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
that you
But-
know that would be interested in doing something.
But I didn't
like
think
that.
about the fact that you guys now have really upped. Like, you got the nice camera here, and then you said John's got one as well. And like, I mean, even just one.
Yeah.
Like, do a
Yeah,
lot with a
totally.
single camera.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're just editing,
And
if
we
you don't need it
actually-
to be like multiple shots because it's like a one take situation.
Yeah.
I've been
do that.
trying to start digging my way into DaVinci Resolve. I feel like that's like the best solution right now because it's free, or there's a free, the
Is
free
this an
the
AI
free
thing?
version. No, it's a video editing software, just
Okay.
like instead of Final Cut or Premiere.
Do the
Dude,
AI video.
Chat
My brain,
GPT,
my
man.
brain is
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
Okay, so
DaVinci Resolve sounds like some kind of AI bullshit.
Chat GPT
fucking-
is crazy, dude. I
It
went on
is,
there.
Yeah, we were playing with it.
Dude, I went on there, and of course, I'm asking it all these audio questions. I'm asking it like, how do I master my track in Ableton Live? And it friggin' spits out a whole like
Wow.
step-by-step process. The funny
Hilarious.
thing is, though, everything about it was perfect except for at the very beginning, it told me to create a new audio track, call it master, and then put all the plugins on there. And so it's like, well, everything else it was telling you to do, like that would work, but no audio is going to that channel. So
you skipped
like
a step.
it like skipped like a very crucial kind of like common
Right,
sense thing,
route
right? And
all
it's like,
the audio
It does
to
say
that
that.
channel.
It
Yeah.
does say that at the beginning when you're signing up, though. There's
Yeah, oh, yeah.
There's intentional blind spots. On
well, here's the wild thing. All you have to do is like, hey, this isn't making any sound. What's wrong?
Right.
And then it friggin' followed up with like, oh, well, if you haven't routed any audio, I was like, okay.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
like, God damn it.
Like,
Yeah.
dude, I've
I-
been seeing like people for coding, like they're just like,
yeah.
Dude,
Right
I
in
will
the
show
program,
you.
and
I
it's
will
just
show
like-
you this story it made.
dude, that's so
I had it
crazy.
write me a story.
Oh, is that
And-
the one with AC and I?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
the cats.
Yeah, the
Dude,
cats in
it's-
space
It's a beautiful
with
story.
Green Giraffe,
Yeah,
our star.
with our boy Green Giraffe. I'll tell you the whole story. It's crazy.
It was so good.
GPT is nuts.
Yeah.
It's that's the first one that I feel like, okay, we've kind of crossed a
The
new
visual
threshold.
Yeah.
stuff
with this one.
was a lot. Like all the
Yeah.
visual
Yeah.
AI stuff for a while now has been a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And like
Really good.
a lot of people are like, fuck.
Yeah, yeah.
And then this thing comes along and you're like, oh shit. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. This thing's
There's a bunch of these. So it's not very it's fucking exciting is what it is.
It really is.
I think
Yeah.
it just comes down to, you better be just prepared to incorporate those tools into your workflow.
Exactly.
Like, so immediately I'm thinking about like, okay, when I go to like another thing I want to do this year is start actually making some YouTube videos of like,
Oh, really?
you know, a lot of not just like your standard like here's how to make this preset like tutorial, but like there's a lot of other unique things about like, you know, with meters and how I set up my whole system and how I'm routing all my audio and everything.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
like,
true.
That's the stuff stuff that I want to tell people about, but like I can just be like, go watch this video and then like we'll talk because like and so it's one of the things I'm going to do is I'm just going to use ChatGPT to like help me write the scripts for the videos.
Yep, exactly.
Like, it's a tool. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know how to write a script, but like it will at least spit out like some text that I can start with and then follow and edit things. And you know, it's like having a writing partner to like it's having somebody to bounce ideas off of. And it's the same way with like all the isotope AI stuff. Like it's going to be there regardless. So learn how to use it and learn how to like take advantage of it. Because if you're not, somebody else is.
Yep.
So
It's some like exponential learning shit
yeah.
that we're dealing with right now.
You now
Basically.
literally like it's as if you have Google like you always have, but it will tell you anything you want to know in plain English,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
which is like you don't have to
But
look through
way
websites, you
better
don't have to
than
look through
Google.
links.
Yeah.
It's
Curated
just,
to like
hey,
your specific
bud,
question and list.
I want to
style or
know about
whatever.
this, and it's just like okay, and it just tells you it just the same way you would ask Google, but like you know,
it's just a step further.
Yeah.
It also is without. Is it giving you like links to
No.
where it got the
No, it's
information?
not.
So
No.
now we're just
Well, one,
trusting.
Yeah,
the
now we're just
device.
but that's like
trusting it,
asking
yeah.
a friend. You know, it's like asking a friend, and a friend says,
Totally.
"Oh, I read an
Totally.
article," and like they
Hold up.
tell you a bunch of shit. Like,
Sure.
Hold on.
Yeah. Yeah.
right now, it's not connected to the internet.
yeah, it's a
It's just been
set of
filled.
data.
Yeah, it's been
Okay.
filled
Oh.
with a data set, and we're pulling from that.
It's the internet up to
Okay.
what
That's just-
2021 or something like that.
I don't know. I don't think it's everything because you can't ask it for like certain topics. Like it's like I don't have access
So it's
to
like
any of that. You
self-filled.
can't.
Like they just kind of
They just filled it with a generic. Like,
chose
yeah,
what to
like
fill
you
it
can't
with.
ask it for like current trending things. Like it
Yeah.
doesn't. It's not connected. It doesn't know.
Interesting.
But that'll probably change.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
it's in
One day.
beta.
One day.
It's in
Oh, yeah.
beta.
At some point, it'll
You
just
know?
be knowing everything
just
as
updated.
things are
Yeah,
happening.
yeah.
It's just
We were talking and we were saying
what
like
just
it's-
happened just now in Denver, and it's like
Oh, here's all
this
of the
person
things you
just
want.
got
Yeah.
murdered.
Yeah.
You're like, fuck.
We were saying it's almost like the Pong version of like what the chat
Right.
version of it is now. It's like it's so early development.
Yeah.
Like yeah, in
Yeah.
10 years it's gonna
Super
it's gonna
low
be
quality,
insane. Yeah,
simple.
simple, very simple.
MP3.
Dan Eos though, you brought up like coding with it. He posted on his Instagram the other day that he's making or it's making a delay plugin that pitches. It's some sort of like pitching delay where it keeps pitching or something.
Huh.
Right,
But-
because you can have it just spit you code.
He had it.
Yeah, and he had it
make
just
a
like
Max for Live plugin for him.
yeah, exactly. He had to just write out all
did
the
he say
fucking
if
code
he
for
used
it.
it?
No.
Which-
I don't know. I don't know if he has yet. I'm sure he
Beyond
has.
that-
Knowing Dan, he's on like John level of like I'm gonna just hyper commit to this one thing and go
But you
hard.
you could
Right.
do it outside of Max for Live, like as long as whatever the software you're using to develop it is like open source and free.
totally, which
you
he could
could-
be doing it that
you
way.
could like
yeah.
make a clipper because there's
a
the coding-
scalper,
I
maybe?
asked it to make me a filter plugin in C#, and it spit out a whole bunch of code.
Yep,
now, whether
exactly.
that works, I'm not sure.
it.
I've heard things that apparently like it'll leave a lot of like your variable here, like in quotes,
Right.
like things that like if you were an actual coder, you go back through the code and you're like okay, and you just plug in like numbers in certain
But you can
spots.
then
Yeah.
ask it
and like
for
the
that.
structure is laid out correctly, but like it's not
Yeah.
just gonna work right out of the box.
Right.
Like,
But it's the
Right.
same thing with what you did. Like
it's a
it-
tool.
No, you can then ask it to fix the errors
Oh.
that it has. And
Oh,
it'll
really?
Just, yeah, it'll just then be
Okay.
like, oh yeah, these are the things you need. Yeah, you can just
See.
keep diving.
you just drill
deeper.
down further, and it's
Yes.
just like okay.
Yes. But making your own, like, you're like, I really need a multi-band clipper right now. Show me how to do this. All right, copy, paste, boom. Multi-band clipper. Let's go. Here we go.
Yeah.
Be so crazy
Be sick.
when it can just hand that to you flawlessly.
Wow.
When all of us no longer need all the plugins ever, we just have Chat GPT make us
Just
whatever
code a
we
fresh
need in
one.
the moment.
Make me a random
Make
plugin.
me the most modern version of a multi-band clipper right now, please. and I would like a analyzer.
Dude, speaking of new plugins I'm playing with, Cardinal, and open source shit. It's like the open source VCV Rack. It's basically VCV Rack,
Cardinal.
but like it's all completely free and open source. And like apparently it was a fork from VCV. I guess one of the guys left because he didn't believe in them going down the like paid route that they did. So he's like,
Is it
taking my
VST?
code and leaving, basically.
Is it a VST?
It's VST and standalone. That's the whole thing. Is so VCV Rack is free for the standalone version, but in order to get like MIDI in and audio out of it, then you have to pay.
Sure.
Versus Cardinal is just all completely free, and it's got like several hundred modules, just like VCV, like already included, like pretty much everything you could want for dicking around with modular stuff. I don't know. I was just playing around with it earlier today. Because I was thinking, like, I still want to. I'm trying to come up with better ways of doing like arpeggiations, because I use arpeggios everywhere in like trance and melodic
Do you have
techno and
Cthulhu?
stuff. I do, but it's just always one of those like quests for like generating melodies somehow without me using my brain.
I know. I honestly,
like the thing you're supposed to do.
I hate the way my brain makes melodies in some fashion. Like I have like a sensibility for making melodies, but I feel like I've just made all of those melodies, so I'm just bored. So I do the same thing.
Yeah.
I put an arpeggio on random with random things changing the like whatever.
Oh my gosh, he's going on ChatGPT right now.
This and that.
Oh, here we go. What did you type in?
Here's a melody in the key of F that you can use.
Great.
See, and like this would probably totally work.
Yeah, for sure.
course.
Like this is such simple stuff, right? Like
Right.
this is all gonna be like nailed.
I
Like,
mean, for example, I asked it how to boost our YouTube channel, and I kind of left it vague, and it gave me, the generic 5 steps.
The things
like,
we all
that's so
know.
funny.
collaborate with people, consistency,
Yeah.
key titles.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like all. So it's gonna do that to a certain extent.
Yeah.
every time. But if you dig,
Dude, I mean,
Right.
for music theory stuff though, like it's gonna know everything when it comes to. It's
Yeah.
gonna be like the best music teacher ever.
Here you
go.
And you could
I said make it better. Here's a slightly more complex one. Let's go.
Oh.
see now. It's not telling you any rhythm, but you could ask it for rhythm.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's so crazy. You could repeat certain phrases, change the rhythm.
Can you play this?
Yeah, it's gonna get fun. It's gonna get really fun. And especially like maybe one day if this starts to collaborate with
He
Midjourney.
basically like not yet is
Yeah.
what that paragraph says. Like one day.
Right. I will eventually.
I like that you can like save the threads too. So like this is now
Right.
just a thread and it'll
Yeah.
take into context everything you've said above, but like
Yeah.
you can just open up another one.
It's
But,
pretty nice.
Yeah.
100%.
dude, the fact that it's free is the big thing. Which I mean, it's because we're the guinea pigs. Like
Oh yeah, everyone
That's-
we're
they
just
want-
feeding
they
it
want
the
everyone.
information
It
that
needs
it
our
needs.
data,
Yeah,
yeah, but
it's just so funny.
I don't mind. I'm that. This is like the kind of future stuff that I'm like totally down for.
I
Like,
know,
give
right?
me like this like all-knowing like better version of Google that can just tell me what I need.
And I've watched so many videos about like how people have compared what AI is to like killing art. In the past, people would be like, "Oh, a camera came out. Like, what are painters supposed to do now that they can't paint a bowl of fruit?
I mean,
like
the-
how it's just gonna capture it for them, you know?"
books, and the printing press.
Yeah,
Like
people
are like,
were all butthurt because it's
Yeah,
like, oh, but
like-
the
Yeah.
style of
right,
like
and
writing.
like, then everybody can read.
Yeah.
and like this fucking town storyteller. It's
yeah,
like
there's something
It just
beautiful
makes
that
everything get
always
better.
comes from
Yeah.
it, but with AI, it's definitely I feel like a lot harder to imagine because this just seems like the
well, it's because we're in it.
the biggest thing, you know.
We're in it.
We're also in it, yeah.
Yeah.
In 20 years, we're going to be like, how did we ever think
Right.
blah, blah, blah.
Right. I mean, it's
Yeah.
the same thing with looking at COVID now. Like I remember COVID in March of 2020. It was like, this is kind of fucking crazy. Like this is wild.
Yeah.
And now it's like, wow. Wow.
Yeah.
That was a fucking wild show, huh? You know?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying COVID wasn't dangerous, but I'm just saying it was a
It was
wild
wild.
show.
It was
That was a
wild.
wild show.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
That was what you would normally call a clusterfuck.
It was a roller coaster. That
Fuster
Yeah,
clucks,
yeah.
dude.
But in the moment, it was a historical moment. You were like, wow, this is nuts. Like, you didn't, it's the same thing with this right now. We're just like, wow, this is crazy. Or when fucking the Xbox 360 came out, or like whatever the fuck. But anytime the envelope is pushed a little bit, everybody's
Russia
like,
invades
It's like,
Ukraine.
oh my god. Yeah.
You know?
Oh god.
I like the from COVID to Xbox 360. That's
I know, right?
listen, my metaphors know no bounds.
hey, it was an important moment in your
Xbox 360 was
formative
very
years.
important.
It was for me too. So I
Yeah.
get it. I
It's
get
very
it.
important.
Also, these things are incredibly necessary to just advance the human species as a whole. We need
agree.
these things that are going to be like controversial and maybe put like millions of people out of jobs. But it's for the betterment of the development
This
of
is-
everything.
This is a music production
That's
podcast.
it needs to happen.
All right, guys. I just want to remind everyone.
Guys.
Dude, I
Look,
like the
we
hot,
can
the hot new
sacrifice a
meters.
few humans. You know?
Hey, do you guys want to dip into chat real quick?
Sacrifice.
Yeah.
Oh, we actually have a chat
We
going.
should.
Yeah, we're gonna
What's up,
dip-
everyone? I didn't even realize.
So I asked them if they had any music goals, and I feel like I'm gonna.
Oh,
pronounce
Baco,
this-
what's
I
up,
feel like
homie?
I'm gonna pronounce your name wrong, Calvin.
In Lakesh?
In
In Lakesh?
In Lakesh?
That's a
In
sick name.
Lakeish.
In Lakeish? Yeah, I was like, I can't figure it out. But he says his goal is original content, more gigs, and pushing himself outside of his comfort zone.
Nice.
I'd say that's
nice.
fair. That's fairly generic, but also that's a solid fucking. That's
I mean, you
Yeah,
got to be
solid.
generic in a text form.
Well, true.
You only got
that's
so
fair.
many things to do.
That's fucking true too.
Hard to be
But-
detailed.
Also, I like all those things. All those things are
True.
fucking good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
True.
I'd be curious as to what more original content means. Just
Yeah,
like
elaborate on
videos
that.
or
OnlyFans.
in Lakesh,
For sure.
OnlyFans. It's-
shorts on or TikTok videos, like quick little tutorials. Those are
Tight
actually
shorts. Tight shorts. On
Apparently,
the Instagram videos.
Yeah.
Baku made the AI build him a React web application that lets him access the API. That's pretty fun.
Mm.
I thought about having it code me. I haven't asked it yet, but I want to have it code me a new background for its own website and make it look like the Matrix. I want to see if it can do that. But again,
Something meta's
like,
going on there.
like Baco also said, it's all about how you prompt it. Like it's all
Yeah.
in the
Oh,
wording
totally.
of the question and all that kind
Totally.
of stuff. Like that's very specific. I
Yeah.
spent all of my prompts for an hour. Like it locked me out trying to get it to write me lyrics to the new part, the B song. I was just like, I kept diving and it was like a love song, and I was like, less lame, less love. And then it's like, man, you're like, you kind of have to like really fucking massage the goddamn
Yeah,
thing to
yeah.
get it to give you
Yeah.
any kind of creative wording that's good. It can just
Totally.
give you a poem, but it's not going to give you a good poem.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it takes
Yeah.
lots of fucking.
It's a
working.
similar thing with Midjourney, the visual one,
Sure.
where it's like you can give it a prompt and you maybe have an image in your head and it gives you the thing, but it's nothing like what you wanted it to be.
Right.
So then, yeah, you have to massage it and slowly play with the words more, fine tune it. It's
who's
kinda
that
fun,
dude
though.
on Twitch that does the like painting with one?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't seen that.
He like somehow it's like with he has like a rock brush and it just like paints rocks and like an ocean brush like
Oh, I've seen that. Yeah, God.
and it's AI, right?
have
Like you know,
seen
he, like there's like he like oh let's put a beach here and he like brushes and it like generates like a beach.
That
And
one's
so lame.
insane.
What?
Dude,
that
like-
one's
I have
insane.
seen. I have seen.
dude,
that.
it's
Yeah.
no, it's actually like
It's
really
amazing.
freaking crazy.
It's
Like,
amazing.
oh, let's change
Yeah.
the sky, and he can like brush over the sky, and it'll like swap it out for like different
Yeah.
skies.
Oh, I
and,
want like a
okay.
mountain
Dude,
range
it's
right
like-
here.
yeah,
Fill
and
that
it's all
in.
like blended together.
Oh, I want a
if
waterfall.
you zoom in close,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
you can tell like it's all little that weird like AI kind
Yeah.
of smoothness or whatever
Yeah,
that
sure.
happens.
Weirdness,
but like
yeah.
you know, it's still cool though. Like then that how crazy is that? And then now he's like an AI artist,
Yeah.
but
lame.
using
Kinda
it's-
cool, but-
that's his medium is like using that, right?
Right.
Like,
That's the tool that he chose to use.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Sure.
like a strap on.
You know,
Mute my
we all have
phone.
our limits. We all have our like.
Yeah, no, for
there's
sure.
always this thing where people are like, I'm using this type of samples, or like,
Right.
I make all my drums, and I never do.
Thanks for bringing. it
Or
back
you
to
use a
producing.
lot of samples.
Right.
Yeah, you got it.
Some people love that shit. Yeah.
And everybody has their own line that they're drawing.
Mm-hmm.
I was listening to a podcast today where they were complaining about how people are just using too many fucking samples and like lazily right now. I feel like we're like the post-COVID thing is like there's so many new artists and they're all kind of lazily doing the things.
Yeah.
Like they're working hard on getting things made and like trying to come up with shit, but they're also like kind of cutting some corners and
Well,
you know,
Splice is
making
so
it
easy
work.
now. Like you just
Yeah.
hop on Splice and look up what you want.
Yeah.
But
It's
it-
probably
again-
there. Like
Yeah.
You can also just use it as a tool. Like
Totally.
the only way I use Splice is I hop on there, I hit random, and I'll type like music.
Nice.
Or
Okay.
I'll type top. And I'll just
Right.
sit there and like go until just something juicy. I'm not looking for anything particular. I'm just looking
Yeah.
for something that's like, that's a weird riser. You know, it's either something I'm looking for right now, like I'm looking for a jumping off point, or I'll just find a random sample that I'm like, I need that in my random library of shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't see the point of using Splice to like make whole tracks. It seems odd to me.
bass
Just
noise
seems
in
boring.
F.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
You know,
And then it gives you a giant
Jesus.
How
phrase
would
for
you-
your 4 bars or whatever. and it's
that's
like,
cool until somebody's like, yeah, I know all the sounds you just used.
Yeah, you didn't do anything.
Like
yeah.
I
Yeah, I feel like if I'm gonna use a bass sound, like it's gonna get processed and like rinsed and like
It better.
Yeah.
resampled
Yeah.
and like
yeah.
it's not gonna be the just
No,
drag and drop
no,
the sample
no.
and like
Yeah.
I mean, any sample that I use most of the time, it gets like just fucking beat to death.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Oh,
very
yeah.
very rare, and most of the time, if it does survive, it's like a break beat that it just needs to go,
Yeah.
and that's it. It's like in there for 3 seconds, and it gets filtered in, and that's it. I just needed a break in that moment, and Splice was
Yeah.
easy.
yeah.
It's like that, that chick.
Samples are great for just having a bunch of audio frequency movement to make something else out of.
Right.
You know,
Right.
stretching.
One thing
and
I wanted
throwing
to-
through
Just
plugins.
an input
and-
signal, basically.
One
Yeah.
thing I
Kinda
thought of
thing,
the other
yeah.
day that I want to try is just to like again recycle and try to generate ideas and stuff is if you guys have ever seen, I don't know, it might have been either Kermoda or Aus that I originally saw the video, but the like tom fill maker where you just like fill a clip with MIDI, fill up a drum rack,
Who was that?
and like send it random you with the random plugin, and it just will like and an ARP, and you can just like it'll just crank out fills basically.
Right.
or like,
Whoa.
But like
Copycat or
I
something
had
like
a
that.
thought like I was like, oh, I should just like throw a whole bunch of like synth samples into that, like fill up a drum rack with synth samples,
Yeah.
and then like automate the rate and just like have it generate a whole bunch of random, and just resample that, like just record it
Yeah,
running
yeah.
for a while, and
Oh,
it's almost
yeah.
like the Hocket machine.
That's a
from,
nice
like
day
Mr.
of
Bill or
work
whatever.
right there.
Sure.
Yeah, and then you just
Yeah.
go back through and cut up the slices and like
Totally.
Yeah.
go to town. But like
And it makes me think
Yeah.
like we're already using AI to make music.
Pretty
Like
much.
using that's just to like generate a thing for me, but I'll give you some sort of context and then I'll play with it. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. It's all weird. We're gonna pull through though. Something beautiful.
I see you have the fancy MiniMeters on the stream this time.
Look at those babies go.
They're amazing. That's my favorite new visualizer. Metering.
Yeah, what is
period.
it called? MiniMeters?
MiniMeters.
Yeah.
Go.
Dude's got
Dude,
a
it's been
dude's got
popping
a
off.
Discord.
Yeah.
It's bussin', as they say.
Oh, yeah?
Well, he's
Are
just
they
like
still
he's
saying
really
that?
active. And he's actively updating it. He's getting ready for
Good
the
for
version
him.
the version 1.0 release, which there's going to be a whole bunch of upgrades and stuff.
Oh my god, he's
apparently,
not even
so-
on version 1?
No.
Oh shit.
0.8,
That's
0.9.
crazy
Yeah.
compared like cuz I
Folks.
feel like it's pretty popular right now.
$10.
Dude, yeah, $10,
I don't-
man. It's so worth
$10.
it. It is easily the best like metering like it gives you everything you need, a spectrogram, frequencies, the waveform. Like the waveform is multiband the way that like Tractor or Rekordbox or Serato is, so like you can see your track in real time. Or like listening to Spotify, you can just like look at all your favorite songs and see what they look like in real time.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
And then like because I've stared at waveforms in Tractor and Rekordbox, thousands and thousands of songs like over the years DJing. Like I almost know more what a song should look like than what it should sound like
Right, right.
in
Yeah,
a way, right? And
sure.
so being able to like stare at that while I'm working is so critical. Yeah.
I wish you could change the background to black though.
You can. That's what all those different themes are.
Oh, you have to change the theme.
Just click on one. Yeah.
Oh, I thought maybe.
And you can make
that's
you
kinda
can
cool.
you can make your own too. So it's super easy to make your own with just like editing the JSON file.
Let's go.
Yeah, honestly, like
Yeah,
this is
dog.
I fucking love Flux, but this is kind of putting Flux to shame
It really does.
because it does everything
For the
Flux
price
does
point? I
for
mean-
the price,
Yeah, for
especially
$10.
$10.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, Flux is like we were
Gosh,
saying,
you
like
just had to choose
500,
that theme,
700.
didn't you, Caleb?
You love the white theme.
It's so ghetto looking. It's sick.
It
dude.
just hurts.
is pretty
You guys-
good,
the
though.
Discord
Yeah,
people have uploaded a whole bunch of different themes too beyond just those. So
I could see that. Yeah.
yeah.
Diggo.
I fucking love looking at a EQ with like just a voice talking going
It's
on.
very
It is
satisfying.
strange.
It's so
right?
interesting how much our like the pitch goes up and
So
down.
much
Yeah.
movement.
Yeah.
What I really have been that actually oh my god that totally reminds me, that's something I have been focusing on where it's like everybody loves like the human vocal when they're like singing, like there's something that's just beautiful about it, but it's really sick when you focus on the high end, especially in the sibilance areas, because in a lot of like music that we all make, especially electronic, there's a lot of like consistent high end all the time, you know. And with a vocal, there's only specific moments, like specific. That's when like the sharp parts hit for just a little sec, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've been trying to like just think about that more.
Yeah,
with
I
my
do
music
not
and
have high
trying
end
to-
going in my tunes all the time.
It's a good call. It's a lot. It's a lot for the
more
ears.
staccato
Right.
for the most part
Yeah.
for high end
100%.
things.
Yeah. And even if
Every
you
once in
have,
a while,
like
a white noise, like
Yeah.
kind of thing going
Mhm.
on, or
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. My shit's sparse though. So.
I find I mix hi-hats different than a lot of like tracks I listen to. Like I feel like a
do you
lot of
mean?
people are really aggressive with hi-hats.
A lot of people are,
And
right?
what do you do?
Not so aggressive.
Yeah.
So
Like they're much quieter in the mix
specific.
than a lot of people.
Okay, just
Like-
in terms of
Like I
level?
still I'll
or
still like
attack?
I'll compress them all and like get them like, you know, kind of
pretty
beefy
dynamically
and juicy
beefy. Yeah,
sounding,
okay.
but like then I sit them pretty low. Like I feel like compared
okay.
to a lot of people.
Do you
When
do a
you're-
lot of high end cutting? Like, do you do like a harsh just?
No, I don't do too much rolling off on
Okay.
the top end, but
On
I don't know. I
hi-hats.
just hate hearing like like
it's
super
super
like when you turn down the track and that's all you hear is just hi hats.
Yeah, that's
basically.
tough.
Like
Yeah.
That's why you should listen to shit at low volume.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mixing.
right.
Excuse me.
You're excused.
Folks, we're sponsored by Mountain Time Premium Lager.
Are we doing the sponsor segment?
Oh.
Nope.
It's our anti-sponsor.
So
I actually hate this company.
when it comes to your hi-hats, I'm guessing that you look at your EQs with a 3 or 4 decibel curve. So
Yeah,
it's flat
almost.
or
Yeah,
whatever.
everything's set to a 3 dB.
So you're looking to just, if you were to imagine your hi-hats where they're hitting, trying to hit to
just
null.
a little below like where my kick's hitting.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Because if
Like,
I were to pull
Smiley
mine,
face, but not crazy.
but not crazy, right?
Yeah.
If you look at a lot of modern ones, it for sure is like a lot of times at 4 or 3.5 or whatever, the highs are kind of
Oh, yeah.
kind of
Boosting
taper up
up.
a little bit right
Yeah.
at the
It's
end.
way
which
too
is-
much.
Yeah.
Yeah, what I've been doing to kind of compensate, because I kind of am on a similar tip with the like 9K and above. I feel like everyone mixes too loud. And like 4K, but I have my own theory on that. But what I've been doing to my hi-hats is kind of like cutting off their top end, like the 10K, and then just adding with like Shaper Box 3 or texture or erosion, I guess you could do it, adding a noise layer to my whole hi-hat group. So all of that top end now is just noise. And it
Interesting.
just happens with the hi-hats. But now it's all, instead of when you look at your EQ and you see your hi-hats, and after 10K, there's kind of like dips and big all peaks and shit, and it's kind of like harsh up there. You could compress those peaks and try and make them flatter, or you can just kill them all and make it noise.
Huh.
So it's just flat. And then every time the hi-hats hit, all that top end is just
Yeah, it's like
white
it's almost
noise.
like putting a vocoder, because I'll put a vocoder on
Kind
my
of,
hi-hats
kind of, yeah,
and
yeah.
get
Totally.
that same
Yeah.
like noise sound.
It just kind of
but-
flattens that very top
Huh.
end that you can't differentiate from noise or
Yeah,
hi-hat
yeah, yeah.
anyways. So that way all your hi-hats at that frequency band are all going to be the same level and the same thing, kind of.
Yeah.
It makes that whole top end easy to mix. You're like,
Dude,
oh,
I
it's just
love
noise.
that. The noise shaper in Shaper Box
It's
is so
good.
So sick.
It's so good. Like in 2, it was good, and then 3, I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I didn't think they could make it better, and they made it better.
Yeah. And the
Fucking
drive
right.
shaper.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Drive shaper
The
is a
whole
lot
thing
of
is
fun.
good. The whole thing is good.
Dude, all right. The last thing that I definitely wanted to talk about today, because has been
Do it.
game changing. So much because it's like now a focal part of like my new studio setup is I finally figured out, and I don't know why nobody ever told me this, and so I want to tell everyone now that I see. For doing like default MIDI mappings like with all your VSTs. So like you know how like you always open up Serum and you want to be able to like control the filter or something, and say you have a MIDI controller that has like a couple faders or a couple knobs or whatever across the top. Well, wouldn't it be nice that like, oh, those 4 knobs were always like your filter and then like your filter envelope or something, right? Like ADSR. And like when you open an instance of Serum, that just automatically works. And then you go to another instance and it works. Well, normally how I was always taught and how everybody always talks about it in Ableton or Bitwig or whatever is like you just use like the MIDI mapping mode like in Ableton or in it. But then that's like project dependent, right? Like you do that for one instance of Serum, go to another project and it's not working. Well, turns out you just use the default MIDI mapping mode like within each VST. They all do it, and it just then sticks. And it like every instance, as long as the track's armed, it'll just work. So like in Serum, if you right click on a knob, it'll say like MIDI map.
Right.
So you click that, you move a knob, and then now forever, when you open an instance of Serum, that CC on your controller will now just control that parameter.
Really?
Oh,
Right?
that makes so much
Nobody
sense.
ever
What?
told me this. Diva
I
will
think-
do it.
I've done that on accident.
Every single synth has a MIDI map mode built into it, and that's how it works. It's not it just remembers that for like with Serum. The one thing you have to do is like you set it all up, and then you actually have to save the MIDI map as like default or something.
Interesting. Yeah.
Dude. So on my on my desk now, I have my Minotaur sitting front row center, and I don't even use. It's not even hooked up like for audio.
Minotaur,
It's just hooked up
easy.
as a MIDI controller because that Minotaur gives me a filter, 2 envelopes
We're
with
vibing.
ADSR,
That's sick.
oscillators. It's like all the essential little controls and
Right.
nothing else.
Yeah.
And they're all labeled because it's the faceplate of the Minotaur.
Right.
Like has the filter knob and everything.
Right.
And then I just noted what the only issue is like for recording automation, it'll record it into the clip, not into the lane. So you just have to copy it out into the lane or just, it's the same way as like doing the pitch
with
bend
it,
inside
yeah.
the clip.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
whatever. It's a little sidestep, but like,
Better than 9. When it would,
it's just auto mapped all the
wouldn't reset
time.
to 0.
Like, so all my VSTs now, like the filter knob just always works. Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Nobody
that's
ever
cool.
mentioned that. Nobody ever
No, I've-
mentioned like,
I've never heard
now
that.
that
in
I think
my
about
life.
that,
I
that
haven't
makes
either.
sense why my MIDI controller
the
would do
fuck?
weird shit
Yeah.
sometimes.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
every time I open Ableton, it always brings up on the little bottom part. It's like MPK 25 controller error or something.
well, so you don't even
And I
need
don't
to
even
use
have it
that because
hooked
that's
up.
the script. Like that's like if you go into the preferences in Live and like pick your
Right,
like
that's in the
controller
DAW.
from the list.
We're talking
that
about
what
this
that's
is
talking
like
about?
the
You don't need a script or anything.
VST.
Like any MIDI controller that has a couple knobs or even buttons will work. And
Oh,
you're
I
just
see.
using like, say you were to open like, Omnisphere or some other VSTs can open to just like a standalone synth without even Ableton or whatever, right? They need like a MIDI mapping mode built into the synth in case you're not using it actually inside like a DAW. So that's all you're using is just their built-in MIDI
Right.
mapping mode instead of whatever your DAW is supposed to do.
So you have to set it up once.
Once.
Just once.
This is an
And,
Ableton.
and then the track,
I wonder if it will work.
it should
that
work
way
with
in
Bitwig. That's the thing because it's just inside. It's just Serum's MIDI mapping capability.
yeah,
It's
right.
just Diva's MIDI mapping capability. It's just Omnisphere's.
yeah,
it's
yeah.
not.
sick.
It's not DAW dependent. It's not.
Oh, wild.
It'd be sick to just reach over and grab
Yeah.
my filter.
Dude,
and
it's so
never
nice.
Even think twice
Stick
about
around,
it.
yeah.
So
And you
nice.
always know, like, this knob is filter, this one is pitch, this
Yep.
one's like a whatever.
Phase Plant might have some issues with this.
Probably
It's so
because it already.
modular.
Right.
You could probably set up like the macro knobs to already be mapped, since that's
Yeah.
what I think that's how it handles it. Right? Is like you can only automate like the macro knobs or something? Or is that changed?
That's probably true. I think that it's not true in Bitwig, but I think it is generally true.
Generally true.
If I remember right, when you guys would use phase
Generally.
when you guys used to use phase plant in live when we were working together, I'm pretty sure there was something about like, you can't automate anything but like the macro knobs.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it'd be like way
it's the same.
It's like
It's the same in
Isn't
Bitwig.
it that way now?
Mm-hmm.
Travis,
Which
do you
that
think you're ever going to
doesn't
move to
bother
Bitwig?
No.
Are you tempted by the
I haven't
forbidden
even
fruit?
like I don't know. I'd have to work with it a few times with you guys and like what is it that made you guys switch? Like the number one reason.
They just want to be cool guys.
You just
they're
don't want to be live. You
hipsters.
just don't want to be live users.
Yeah.
So
Live
good.
users.
Okay.
So 2015.
No, probably
good.
probably one, the modulators. So you can just
Modulator.
add
Huge.
a random modulator to
Like an
everything.
LFOs or whatever.
Yeah, to literally everything in the signal chain and as many as you want. Just constantly. You can just keep adding them. And it's
But you can
ridiculous.
do that in Ableton.
Not nearly as easily. You need
Not as
fucking max
easy.
for live LFOs for days.
All right.
And
Okay.
that's
It's
gonna get
harder to
messy
keep
as
track
fuck.
of.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
harder to keep track of.
And way
so
more
you don't use
CPU.
it as much.
Yeah, I don't
Okay.
use it nearly as much. 2, I can automate my warp
Sorry.
mode formant filters and shit. Like the formant in
Oh,
Complex Pro.
like inside the clips,
or-
you can
yeah.
actually automate that
yeah,
stuff.
you can automate like any of that shit, which is fucking glorious. Just those two things alone.
Why the fuck is that
I don't know.
not automatable?
I think
in
it's
live?
because Live's coding is a fucking rat's nest.
It's just too old.
They're
Yeah.
just like, and because of that,
Makes sense.
like Bitwig just has all these small little Ableton things that you're like, oh, that works. Oh fuck! Like that didn't work in Ableton.
Yeah,
like it
they-
just has a little tiny little things like that.
It's organization.
That too.
It's a even with the modulators, it's organization. It's in a spot that makes more sense.
Is there a free version or like a light version?
You can just download it for free. You can't.
You can
export
demo.
anything.
Yeah, you
Okay.
can use it as a demo.
Oh, it's the same as like
Maybe
FL.
I'll have to play around with it.
It's
Right.
super fun.
You can for every for a clip that you're using in the arrangement view, you're looking at your clip like you would in Ableton. You click on it, and in the bottom, it gives you the contents of that clip, which could be multiple different pieces of audio, you know? So instead of going in and doing your fades and shit in the arrangement area,
I got
you can make a clip the size of the bar and then go and do all your arranging down here, and you can adjust
like
all the
almost
details
like a
down
compound
here.
clip or something. Like
Yeah,
that.
Yeah,
Kinda.
it's a container
Huh.
Yeah.
for the clips. It's
Yeah.
um
It's like a folder, and inside the folder is all the clips.
yeah. So you get
Interesting.
it's like it's kind of the same for sure,
Right.
But it's like some weird layer that tends to lean towards some good things. I think working in a different space is like huge for it too. Like
Yeah.
we worked
Also
in Ableton
that-
for so long
Yeah.
Yeah.
that like wrapping my mind around a new thing was very helpful.
And now
Yeah.
it's a joy to open every time. I'm just like, oh, I can't wait to open it. Like it's like new
Yeah.
every
And you're
time
comfortable.
still. Yeah. Well, yeah.
More
now,
comfortable.
Now I'm comfortable. Although I can open Ableton, and it's about 30 seconds of being like, oh yeah, let's scroll this way
Yeah,
instead
right.
of this way,
Right.
and it's Control Shift T
It's
to
an
add
alt
audio
instead of a
instead of MIDI
control.
or whatever.
Well, I was like,
Yeah.
how
'Cause there's
close to the shortcuts? Because that's what would
Pretty
drive me
close.
nuts.
That would
pretty
drive
close,
you
but there's like
insane, right?
5 that are key navigational ones that are just inverse.
Can you change them?
That's it.
Yeah, can you
Yeah.
remap them?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. So it
What's
doesn't
also
even
nice-
matter.
So I would just remap everything.
If
to
you
be
go
like
to
live.
settings, if you go
Maybe.
to settings and you go to keybinds, you can search either the mapping or what it maps to of anything in the entire
Yeah.
program. So you just search it and then
Damn.
you
Well, that's
set
the
it.
that-
Which
almost every other DAW, as far as I know. I mean, like Cubase definitely does. Reaper
Yeah.
does. I think Logic, remapping keybinds is like most video games nowadays. Like
I
you
know,
can
I know,
remap
I
everything.
know.
Like
But
it's very
Ableton-
strange to not be able to remap keybinds
Right.
in like any like
no, you
Live's
have
one
to
of them,
hit
but like
Control K
yeah.
to do this one thing.
Yeah.
I will
Yeah.
say
Wow.
John had some issues with the way that the keybinds and the setting it up and stuff works, and I think he's probably,
so is John on Bitwig
amongst-
now?
No, well he
He
bought
likes
it,
Ableton more.
and then we
Went
were
back.
using his for a minute, after he bought it. And then when he really started digging in, he was like, I can't do this. But he also hadn't been making music a lot at the time.
That was in his weird year.
So like, I think he was needing to actually get some shit done.
Yeah.
Instead of learn a new DAW.
The final question is, how much is it?
I think it's cheaper than
400.
400.
We spent 300.
Yeah, we spent
Do you-
300. We
also-
got $100 off.
Yeah, it's better than
Do you get
800.
lifetime updates
Yeah.
like FL Studio, or do you have
It's
to
not,
buy
it's
it
not
every
lifetime,
time it comes
but,
out with a new
but
one?
it's like
That's fine.
no, it's
There's
they,
some update
they did
situations.
they did an update where they tried to charge and everybody got pissed off, so they did it for free.
They tried to
But-
add like an elements, like an extra thing where you could buy extra.
Right.
Oh, yeah, the Serato package type thing.
Oh.
You could get new Bitwig plugins.
Yeah.
Right.
Like and like
I would have
pretty
bought it.
significant. We tried to buy it.
Yeah.
We like went and bought it, but like they were all the spectral plugins. You know, every single DAW has their spectral plugins now.
And yeah.
Well, Bitwig handles things in this way where it's like, here's a mid-side rack. You can put effects on the mids, you can put effects on the sides, and you have volume knob for the both of them.
Yeah.
Instead of like in Ableton, you got to make a rack.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
like
yeah.
figure out a way to get the only the mids and only the sides, and then affect it that way. It just has a rack for it.
That's cool.
So with all their spectral plugins, what they did is they made them that way as well. So it's like it's a transient based spectral rack where you can go select the transient and then add whatever effects you want.
Or just
And then go and select the body and then put all the effects you want on there. Instead of making just like a plugin that has effects.
Yeah.
And, you know, like
That just
everything else is
yeah, yeah,
basically
yeah.
that way.
That's
Right.
cool.
yeah, all four of their spectrals are splitters in
s-
some kind.
They're splitters, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, they're just
But
splitter rack
They
things.
tried to charge us like $60 for it, and everybody got pissed off.
The
And we were
internet went
trying to buy
crazy.
it. We were
Dude, as
trying to
long
buy it,
as-
but something
AKA
happened.
like 50 people.
As
you know
long
what
as
I mean?
as long as they don't do a subscription model, man, I just
Fuck that.
a company
shit.
is
Yeah.
cool in my book as long as you don't do a subscription.
Yeah,
software.
that's
like I
brutal.
just
The
can't
one that's
stand
allowed
that.
is Kilohertz. It's too good. It's too good for me not to sub.
You don't
I
have
haven't,
to do
I haven't
it,
used
though.
Kilohertz
Yeah.
stuff in forever because of that.
Oh, you can't buy it?
I mean,
Oh,
you,
I
you
don't know.
can. You can.
Oh, you can buy
I
it.
had an old version at one point, and then on this new machine, I just haven't bothered to go look.
Right.
Being on the M1 now, like I basically have to like everything has to be fully like latest version, up to date. Otherwise, there's still like there's a couple
Deleted.
things. Let's see, what was one thing I had to leave behind? Oh, that little like cashmere plugin that was like a updated Camel Crusher. I had to leave that behind because that wasn't updated for M1, which kind of sucked because that was
What is
like
M1?
the Mac Studio, the M1 chip.
It's that little box.
Oh,
It's a
Macintosh.
Yeah, Mac.
Apple.
It's the new, it's their new ARM architecture. Like they're basically it's the same chips as in like the iPhones now, but like a souped up version. Like mine is, I have the M1 Ultra, so it's what 64 cores, something like that. I mean, it's what used to be a $30,000 Mac Pro. It was now only a $5,000 Mac Studio.
Right.
Substantially cheaper. Like I have 64 gigs of RAM. Like it's nice.
That's what's up.
Beast of a machine. I've yet to find a
64
thing that
gigs is
chokes
nice.
it.
Yeah.
Like it's finally
And it's
that
a
kind of a
laptop?
computer. No.
Oh, you'll find it.
It's
Oh, you have a
it
desktop.
looks like a tall Mac Mini. So
Okay,
like
gotcha.
it's that silver kind of shape,
Mm-hmm.
but instead of only being this tall, it's a chunky boy. But
you'll find the limit.
but I could throw it in a case and take it with me. But no, I've
Yeah.
tried.
pretty
You'd be
sick.
surprised.
No. You will.
There's been people running
Oh, yeah.
projects
You haven't.
like especially stuff
you
that
will.
runs native like and not through Rosetta. Like
Do you have black box?
people running people have ran like sessions with like
You just have to
1,000
have
channels
John
with like 1,000
come over.
reverbs, 1,000 like saturate. Yeah, it's fine.
Wow.
It's like chugging along at like 30%. It's actually
That's
like
impressive.
for now.
yeah.
That is
I mean,
impressive, but you will find the limit.
Yeah.
You
Right.
the-
It will always show up. You
one
just-
thing that
We're
likes to
nerds.
choke it
Yeah.
is
You
will.
is crazy polyphony. Like Diva or like Omnisphere, if I throw like 160 voices at it or something.
Totally.
Because that's the only way. That's not a limitation of the Mac though. It's
No.
Ableton.
Yeah.
It's the single thread. You're
highway.
loading that thread on one single channel.
Yeah.
And it's just
Which is another
It's only one
problem.
core that can handle every channel in live. So
Fucking Ableton.
I have like
It's its own bottleneck, dude.
a tune
Yeah.
that
I
I
I
made.
think that's every DAW.
I know.
I was just
That's
gonna
how
say.
they have to handle
I
audio
know.
architecture.
Right.
Shut up!
Yeah.
I'm trying to shit on Ableton right now, dude.
Okay, Bitwig,
Big wig.
Beta
What they
wig,
should say.
Bigwig.
You just
Excuse you.
put John on any computer and he will break it in a matter of like moments.
Oh yeah.
Like just doing regular John things.
Oh my god.
Like not trying to break it, just literally just doing something that he would do normally. like he found an issue with Bitwig the last time we were hanging out working on a tune, and I was just like, of course you figured that out within like a moment.
Yeah.
God.
He was like, oh shit, it won't do this for me. And I'm like,
That's our special
it.
little boy over there.
God damn it.
Just doing
Yeah.
cool stuff. Shout out John.
Yeah.
He likes to make sounds.
He's good at it too.
He's very good at it.
It's crazy.
He really is.
He's been on. Actually, I don't know. We don't need to go on a John tangent, but he's been making snares lately and kicks, and they're sick. Yeah, he's on a high
dude,
train.
I would buy a sample pack from him.
I
Sure.
would do. Yeah.
I-
You,
Straight
don't-
up
you
would.
won't
Yeah.
have to.
Yeah.
He will give it to
He'll,
you.
I know,
he'll probably
but,
just
like-
give it out for free.
But that's the
knowing
thing.
him.
It's like it,
Nah, he'll sell that shit.
You think so?
he
He
should.
should.
He should
He's selling
totally
that
make
shit.
some sample
Yeah.
packs.
Oh, yeah.
He should.
He is.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yep. This is it, folks.
This
Great
is it.
end of the
We
podcast
fucking
here.
did it.
I hit my notes.
Woo,
did.
you got
You
all the notes in. That's perfect.
Hitting those notes.
Thank you for hitting all those notes.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here with us. Travis, can you guide the people towards you more on the interwebs?
iamMTN.com.
Let's go.
iamMTN.com.
That's how you find everything.
iamMTN.
Actually, Instagram is actually probably best right now. I'm in the middle of rebuilding my website. But
Oh, okay.
switched it over to Google domains and everything. Yeah.
Under construction.
Looking
At.
classy now. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I
am MTN.
MTN.
That's it.
MTN. I am Mountain.
Beautiful.
Spotify,
Hell yes. Didn't you just release something new?
I did. A couple weeks ago, I put out a track with Noah. That's probably
That's
actually
right.
with
That's
Nobex. It's probably the last
What's it called?
tune, Phoenix.
Phoenix. I was like, it starts with a PH.
Dude, I
almost
didn't
said
even
phaser.
see that.
Yeah.
I gotta check that out.
It's
That's
in
cool.
the Instagram post.
It's probably one of
I think I
the
listened to it.
third or fourth
Oh,
tracks
it's
he
that one?
and I ever
Okay.
started. That one's been like 3 years in the making.
Let's go.
And then that's going to be probably our last one as iamMTN and Novex because everything going forward is definitely going to be a new collab project.
Yeah.
Oh, sick. Yeah, that time you guys have
Wow,
made a
that's an
bunch of
exclusive
music,
right
yeah.
there.
Sir.
Jesus.
Yeah.
God damn.
People are gonna look back on
ID.
Yeah.
ID.
Oh, fuck
Hey
yeah.
guys,
Sick.
before you run
Oh
away,
yeah, ID.
FYI, we are going to DJ. I
Yes, yes.
don't know where we're DJing.
Right here. We'll just.
Well, I mean on
bring
the
it down.
internet.
Here.
On YouTube?
On Always 400?
Yeah.
Yeah, might as well.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
I mean, it's your channel. I don't know why I'm telling you what to do.
We're gonna take a quick break, folks.
Yeah, set everything up.
But in the meantime, while you guys don't know what to do with your hands, hit that sub. You know,
Yeah. Hit that sub.
trick the algorithm. It helps us. Leave a review if you're listening to this on the audio form. It
Go
helps
like
us a lot.
and comment and troll on
Yeah.
the comments
We
of
gotta
all the videos.
Yeah, honestly, troll the
And
comment
get all the
section. That would be way
things-
more fun.
Get the things going.
That's true. Troll us as much as you
If
can.
if you watched this episode,
need-
go to a random one and type in "my grandma loves eggs" into the comment section, and then we'll see you, and then we'll know you're a true homie.
Yeah, if you're curious what kind of music we make, we might play some.